Hello and welcome to another crochet tutorial, and today I'm going to do a little edit on the chain stitch tutorial I shared earlier. And here I have some chain stitches I worked up, and as you can see they are all the same size, but the common problem many new crocheters have is their chain stitches are different sizes. So it could be really big, really long like this, or very tight like that. So their chains are uneven basically. So how do you fix that? The main way to fix this problem is to practice. But also I want to mention that as you chain, you can adjust the you can adjust how tight or how loose your loop is on your hook, and that affects the size of the next chain that you're going to make. So for instance, right now I've pulled my loop really tight around my hook, and when I try to make the next chain, it's going to be a very small one. It's going to be a very small chain. Whereas if I pull up on my hook and at the same time let yarn flow over my finger, I have a very long loop on my hook right now. So if I'm going to chain through that loop, it's going to give me a very long chain stitch. So another thing that really affects the size of your chain is how loose this loop is on your hook. So you have to keep that consistent. If when you pull through the last loop and create a chain, you have your new loop really tight on your hook, you can relax it a little bit by pulling up some yarn with your hook. Do you see what I'm doing? You can pull up yarn, and if the problem is that you've pulled up too much yarn, you can reduce this length by pulling back with your finger, and if necessary, wrapping the yarn around your finger. You can do that. Keep this loop on your hook a consistent size, and that will give you consistently sized chain stitches. So that's how to get chain stitches that are all the same size. So let me lay my work flat so that you get a picture of where I'm working consistently over here, and over here where I had loops that were really long on my hook. So that's one thing that affects your chain stitches. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that the other thing that affects your chain stitches is the size of your hook. So if I were to unravel this and work really consistent chain stitches, I've made a slip knot and I want to make 10 chain stitches with this hook, which is a 4mm hook. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10 chain stitches, and if I just want to leave it at that and end my work here, all you need to do is take a scissors and cut your yarn, leave a tail, don't cut too close to your loop, yarn over and pull that tail through your loop. So here I've got 10 chain stitches worked with a 4mm hook. Now I'm going to take my yarn and work with this 2.5mm hook. I'm going to make a slip knot my hook through that knot and pull, not too tight, remember, not too tight, it should move freely on your hook. And then I'm going to make 10 chain stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to snip my yarn and fasten off this end and place them side by side so that you can see the difference in length. And size. So you can see that this one over here, which I worked with the 4mm hook, is bigger, it's longer. The stitch size is larger than the one I worked with, the 2.5mm hook. So the size of your hook affects the size of the chains that you have, even when you're being consistent. Bear that in mind. The other thing that affects the size of your stitches is the weight of your yarn. If I were to use a thicker yarn, then the size of my stitches would also be different. But in order to make consistent chain stitches, the major thing you need to remember is to practice, 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 and make sure that the height of the loop that you currently have on your hook that you're going to work a chain stitch, work into a chain stitch, that loop is the same size every time. It shouldn't be too long or too short, and that will give you consistent chain stitches. So I hope you found this helpful, and it helps with problems with uneven chain stitches. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel, and if you're on Instagram, follow us. If you're on Facebook, follow us. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.